Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Afif bin Azri and this is my group member.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Ismail. My name is Alia.
And we would like to demonstrate you about heat conduction for radial motion and linear motion. Alright, these are the two parts we will be discussed in this video. We have the heat transfer by conduction for linear module and radial module. And the most important part is the water supply. It is used to improve the cooling process between sessions. Okay, let's begin with the heat conduction in radial module. As you can see, there are 6 heat probes used to measure temperature at their respective section. And theoretically, each heat probe should read different temperature based on their distance from the center where the heating element is located. The further it is from the center, the lesser the temperature reading. Okay, over here we have the main panel where every single data obtained from the probe will be displayed on the digital meter. We also have on-off switch, the digital meter, to display the temperature obtained from the probes. That we can manually select which probe scaling from 1 to 9. We also have the power adjuster. We can set the power of heating by turning it in a clockwise motion. And just like the others, it has its digital meter.
To turn this thing on, simply push down on the on-off switch. Give it a few seconds. Next, as mentioned before, we can manually select which probes we want it to display their temperature reading. Simply turn and select which probe you want to monitor. Let's move on with the power settings, and as mentioned before, turning this in a clockwise motion will increase the heating power and the power output can be viewed here. I'll show you an example. Simply turn and as you can see, the power increases linearly based on how much you turn, and this reading indicates how much heating power goes to the apparatus. Over the radial module, we have 6 heat probes where probe number 1 is the nearest to the heating element, starting from probe number 1 to probe number 9. In the meantime, let's start with the first step. The first step is to crank up the power to 20 watt. Simply turn until the digital meter reads 20 watt. There. Now that is out of the way, come over here for the second step. So right now, we need to regulate this based on which probe you want to monitor. So right now it is on number 1, which means the number up here indicates the temperature at the current probe. Now we cannot already take the reading because it is not at equilibrium. Let the reading set for approximately 3 minutes for it to reach thermal equilibrium. Now let's talk about the heat probes and understand the working mechanics. As you can see here, we are currently on probe number 1, which means the temperature up here indicates its temperature of the probes at the radial module. As you can see, each time I change the number, the reading will be different. And as I said before, this is because the distance of the probes from the center where the heating element is located increases. Hence, the further it is, the lesser the reading. So as you can see here, it is currently on probe number 1 with approximately 3 minutes before changing to the next probe. This is because we have to reach thermal equilibrium for it to consider a precise reading. And repeat this step until you reach probe 9, but skip 4, 5, 6.
Assalamualaikum. Now I'm going to demonstrate about the linear module, but before we start, let me connect the heat probes over to this side. I know what you're wondering, where's 4, 5 and 6? I don't know why you are obsessed with them. Like I said, I don't know. Let's talk a little bit about this module. It's simple, the heating element is located on the left and the cooling system is located on the right. We will also include insulator to further examine the properties of heat conduction in linear motion. Namely these two, a piece of paper and a piece of cork. Now, let's fit in the paper first. Simply open the housing and slide this baby in the middle to create resistance for the heat to flow from hot region to cold one. That's it. While we move to the next insulator, note the procedure taken to read the temperature on each heat probes are the same. Make sure all the probes are on the correct position, set the power to 20 watt, regulate each heat probe, and wait for 3 minutes, place the heat probe back to its original order. That is basically it, we're done. The difference between the two modules is that one transfers heat in circular motion while the other travels in a straight motion. Lastly, don't forget to turn off the instrument, turn down all the power modes, and make sure everything is in its original position, and you're done.